You said the Chinese Communist Party, which many people look at as either as powerful as the United States or even arguably more powerful than the United States, getting very aggressive in military. We're going to do Taiwan here in a minute. You're saying that when they look at the world, their 5 weapons, you know what you didn't name in the weapons? Anything militarily. This is Sun Tzu, defeat the enemy before the shooting starts. What has already got my thing blowing up is that you said, hey, when they sit down and talk, gentlemen, the number one weapon is not their planes, is not their nuclear weapons, is not their aircraft carriers, is not the PLA 5 million man army. It's social media. It's the Wu Mao 50 Cent army. So, Miles, and going back to those 5 weapons, social media and fire, with all the weapons in the world, Miles, nuclear weapons, military, armies, aircraft, space, how can the CCP pick, why do they pick social media as their number one weapon of choice?
Sir, we talk about this. This is really upset. America is losing control. You looked at this 9 months ago. We were together and talked about was coronavirus. Nothing was on social media. Even when we wanted to send information to the public using YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, they were immediately taken down, right? Then we go back to 2 years ago when we talked about HNA, we talked about TikTok, and we talked about WeChat. They were immediately taken down. 3 years ago, I talked about HNA and people died, got murdered and killed. And inside the CCP, they have the BGY and 3F programs. Every time we try to use the social media, they took it down. That's 3 years ago, when America listened to me at the press conference in Washington, D.C., Americans and the world must be careful about the CCP. You know that black clouds are coming to your country. They said we are in America to make America unstable and try to kill America. Even social media should follow the Americans' rule of law to give me free speech. I take full responsibility for my speech. The American government can help by making more people wake up. The message may be early, and things may not happen yet. Maybe not about the coronavirus. But Facebook, social media, what happened 3 years ago was they took down my Twitter account when I had more than 500,000 followers. After just 1 week, the number of followers dropped to 400,000, then to 300,000. They immediately took down my Twitter account. YouTube stopped my broadcast. I was on Facebook. Only after 20 hours did they shut down my Facebook account. This incident happened to me 3 years ago. Now, since what has happened to me 3 years after, America has had 200,000 people die, 26 million get coronavirus, the CCP virus infection. In fact, now, sir, Americans must ask themselves, who did this? Who was behind it and why? You look at the Congress on the Hill. Oh, I wanted to, listen to or hear from Zuckerberg. I want to ask Twitter again. That's totally wrong. Now Americans' big trouble is too much bureaucracy. Many politicians are cheating ordinary people. You look at this. 9 months ago, when the coronavirus came to America, did you see any real action against the CCP virus? In the government, no one person really acts to protect Americans' lives. Everyone makes speeches or talks in front of the camera. Nobody really can stop American people from dying and the CCP from lying. Why can the CCP lie? Who can make the CCP lie? This is because of social media. Why does the CCP lie, and why can nobody stop the CCP's lie? It's social media. Who created America? Not the CCP. Not only the CCP. It's American social media, the World Trade, Hollywood, and DC's politicians. America is losing control now. America is a great country. American people are very hardworking, very honest, very loyal, and very good. But now, you look at the CCP virus. The CCP successfully disrupted the economy with its 5 weapons. When you look at the CCP, they always have 5 strategies inside and 5 weapons outside. Outside of the CCP, it fights America with the 5 weapons: money, technical, social media, propaganda, and all are Americans' faults, and Americans are behind this. Without American support from behind, the CCP cannot have the 5 weapons. Inside China, the CCP has 5 strategies to build a cyber firewall to prevent Chinese people from learning outside. They use social media to have full control over the people. They take away all the money, make jobs hard to find for America, sell cheaper underwear, sell cheaper Nike shoes, and then take away all the money. The CCP makes Chinese people know how to do with a social system, culture, and no rule of law. Who helped the CCP deploy its 5 strategies in China?
Yeah. Miles, hang on. We got about 3 minutes left in this segment. I want to make sure we're bringing up one point. As the social media has been pulling down, they wouldn't cover when you guys were talking about it in January about where this thing came from. At the same time, you have TikTok and WeChat here unlimited in the United States. Tell the American people, what's the danger of having TikTok, WeChat, others, not just to control the Chinese people, but actually have access to American data?
3 years ago, I talked to Americans in the FBI and CIA about TikTok and Zoom. Don't forget about Zoom. Zoom spent $50 million lobbying in D.C. to bail them out. Baidu is even more aggressive. They also spent $50 million lobbying in D.C. to bail them out. Also, WeChat and TikTok steal your private information. They use the collected information to threaten you. They call it information warfare. This is why D.C. knows about TikTok and WeChat, but they do not want to deal with them because these people have received lobbying money. Now it is too late for TikTok and WeChat because the CCP is using them to interfere with your election. You do not want Americans to be safer or to protect Americans. You're only driven by the election. That is terrible. This is America, where everything is about fighting between 2 parties. The CCP is also using your infight pendulum. Now you are focusing your election. If you do not take down WeChat and TikTok, you will be too late. Maybe Americans died because you did not take down TikTok and WeChat. You need action, but don't just talk. You look at people in D.C. Everyone is speaking in front of camera and saying, we will do this and we will do that, but no one are taking action. That is why 9 months ago we talked about COVID-19, and now how many Americans have died? Who will take the responsibility for this? The CCP lies and American people die. Why does the CCP lie? Who helped the CCP lie here in America to kill American people?